This video is going to be about the ThruNite T20T Flashlight. This video is going to be about the ThruNite T20T Flashlight. My name is Brian and you're watching Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. Thanks for joining me. As I said, this video is going to be about the ThruNite T20T Flashlight. This is a really cool flashlight. It's made out of titanium, which is why the T comes from. And we're going to show you the specs on this thing, and then we'll talk about some usage details and how you operate it. Tell you why I think it's so cool. So stick with me for a minute. All right, this is the ThruNite T20T Flashlight. I'm going to go over the specs real quick. I will also put these in the description below. I've had some requests for that, so I'll make sure I give you every opportunity to know what the specs are on this thing. So this is a titanium body flashlight, and it runs on one CR123A battery or a RCR123A or a 16340 battery. So you got a little bit of a choices there, but you can buy the CR123s pretty much anywhere. The light features a Cree XP-G2 LED. It's got about a 20-year plus lifespan. The maximum output on this little light is 255 lumens. Okay, so that was some real quick details. Don't want to drag that out any longer for you. I mean, this is a nice little flashlight. Like I said, it runs on one CR123 light, 123 battery, just a little battery. You can buy these kind of camera batteries. You can buy them anywhere. Doesn't matter what brand they are. And then it has a nice tail switch on it. You can see that the back is flat, so you can stand it up. And what's cool about that is you've got this little wand that goes with it. You can stand it up, and you can actually, it's pretty bright. You can see it's light out here. It'll light the whole room up just about. It's really good for camping and whatnot. And then it's the, so it's got three modes again. The low mode is called let's get to the low mode. Okay, so the low mode is Firefly mode, and that is 0.4 lumens. That's really good for like checking a map or looking at something in the dark. The next mode is 11 lumens, and that is pretty much your basic flashlight. And it's going to be brighter than probably than like a mini mag or something. You're going to use that a lot. The 11 lumens will give you 19 hours of run time. Actually, I forgot to tell you, you can run 100 hours on the 0.4 lumens. And then the high is 255 lumens. And you can go about 55 minutes with that because that's pulling a lot of juice, but that is really bright. You probably won't need that very much. If you do, you know, you've got it, but 11 lumens is really pretty average flashlight bright. A few years ago, if you need an ever-ready flashlight or whatever, you know, now we've kind of gotten used to these like super bright lights. But I'll tell you the truth, sometimes too much light is too much light, and it kind of almost reflects, and it's really hard to do things. So I actually use the middle range of this mostly, but it's nice to have that extra bright light when you're really trying to see something, you know, maybe really clearly in the dark. So anyway, the weight of this thing is about 43 grams, like I said. There's a stainless model that's somewhere around 65 grams, so the titanium is a little bit lighter. I'm going to show you how this thing works. So the way it works, you have a tail switch, and also you can twist the head on it. So once you turn it on, you push it one time to turn it on. And then if you half push it, just a little bit, it cycles through the modes. Now we're at the, okay, so that's the Firefly mode. You half push the tail thing, just half push it again, it goes to the next mode. So you just kind of semi push it, it changes modes. If you click it again, it also does the same thing. You can click it completely within 2 seconds, then it changes modes also. Lastly, you can turn it on. I'm going to blind myself here. Okay, so we'll put it on the Firefly where you can see that. If you twist the cap just a little bit off and on, it changes modes also. So you can do that. You can also just twist it off with the cap. But you can want to leave the cap screwed on so that when you turn it off and on, the button will work. So you can actually adjust the brightness intensity with the cap or with the button. Now, what I think another really cool feature about this light is once you turn it to whichever you want, so I've got it in the middle setting right now. You turn it off, if you wait at least 2 seconds before you turn it back on, it remembers what mode you had it in, and it'll come back on to that mode, which is pretty handy because you don't have to cycle. If you like to use this middle mode mostly, which I do, I just leave it on that. When I turn it back on, it's where I want it. I don't have to cycle through a bunch of stuff. So I think that's a handy feature. It's pretty small lights. I've got the pocket clip on this one. It comes with a pocket clip. It's removable. And which brings me to another little thing. Along with the pocket clip, it comes with 2 extra O-rings because it is IPX8 waterproof. And then it comes with the screws and the clip. What's cool about it, I don't know if you can see how little those screws are. They're tiny little screws. I'll give you a couple of extra ones, which I think is an excellent, very thoughtful gesture, because these things are tiny. You drop one of these, especially if you're outside doing it, you can have a hard time finding it. They even give you the little Allen wrench to put it on with. So, I mean, it's a complete package along with the wand. Then it comes in a nice metal tin, which you could use for something else. You could put a fire kit in here. You could put anything you want to in here. And it also comes with the operating instructions. So that's a pretty nice little light here. Again, it's got the orange peel reflector. It's going to not do probably as well on distance as a smooth reflector, but it gives you a lot broader floodlight kind of beam, which is really what you need for a flashlight of this size and what you're going to be using it for. So you've got the pocket clip on this side, and on the other side it's got a little loop. You can actually put a lanyard or a key ring or something there. In my opinion, this is a little big for a key ring flashlight. That's why I've actually put the clip on it. So I've gone over pretty much all the details. That was a pretty good catch, wasn't it? All the details and specs of this. So we're going to kind of wait for it to get dark, and we'll show you how bright this thing is. Okay, so as you can see, we're out here. It's dark now, and let me see if I can cycle this thing right down a little bit. Okay, so I've got the candle wand on in here, candle diffuser, whatever you want to call it. This is the middle. This is in the middle range. It's 11 lumens, and you can see it's pretty bright. What I want to do is go ahead and stand up and let you just kind of show you how the beam works, and then we'll look at the candle wand. You can see how well it lights everything up. So go ahead and stand up here, show you what we got here. So I'll turn this on. So this is going to be the 0.04 lumens right here, and if you can see, it's bright enough to where you can, you need to look at your watch, you need to look at something at night, you can be able to see pretty well. But when it doesn't have any throw at all. So my hand's out here. Now, that's with my hand probably 6-8 inches away from the light. As you move it back away, this is maybe a foot. As you keep moving it back, now we're at like maybe 2 feet now. So it's still got a little bit of light, but it's just not very much. We'll go ahead and put it on now. The second one is the 11 lumens, and you can see that's pretty good. Actually, try to get this around where you can see. You've got you can kind of see what you need to see anyway. See the grass down there, if there's any bugs or snakes or whatever. Sorry, we got an airplane coming over. And you kick it up to and that is 225. You can just see the huge difference. So we got the Firefly here, which you can't really see anything. 11 lumens here, and 225. Man, it's just like super bright. And it just lights up the whole wood pile. There's not really much of a spot, as you can see. It's kind of really, the orange peel deflector really kind of diffuses that light out and makes it pretty useful for everyday use. Again, I'm going to use it pretty much mostly on the 11 lumens. That's pretty good just for general use. You see plenty here. The camera doesn't capture it as well as my eyes are, because it's really a lot broader than that. It looks like it's kind of zoomed in on that one stump there, that log, but it's actually showing up. All this out here is pretty lighted up too. But that's about the best I'm going to be able to get with the camera. So what I want to do now is I've got a stump right here that I've been sitting on. I'm going to go ahead and set the let's put it back down there. I'm going to set the set the candle feature down here and let you see how well that works. Okay. So that is the 0.04 lumens, and it's just not very bright. Like I said, it'd probably be a decent night light for a kid in a tent. So that, on the other hand, is the 11 lumens. And as you can see, you got a pretty good bit of light through all the way out here. If you can see my hand back here, but I'm 2 or 3 feet away, and it's still throwing light out to it. So I'm gonna move back up here where you can see it. Now I'm probably 3 feet away. Turn this thing up to the last one, and you can see how bright it lights up the whole surroundings here. So you can see the whole wood pile. Here's the light there, and you can see the whole wood pile back there. I mean, it's just got a really good throw there. I mean, that's probably, throw's not the right word, but it's got a really good spread of light. I mean, it goes out probably over, on the ground over there, a good 8 or 10 feet away. So you could definitely light up a good sized tent or a pavilion or whatever with this. and that's at the 225 lumen range. Okay, so I'm using the light here as a video light, and it's working really well. And this thing is IPX8 waterproof certified. Okay, I got a slightly dirty bucket of water that's been sitting out here for a couple weeks, and just to show you that it absolutely is waterproof, we'll just drop it in there and let her have a look. So obviously it's underwater, sitting there, and it's doing just fine. Okay, it's only been a couple of minutes, but I think, you know, if it's gonna leak, it's gonna leak. And I'm getting eaten up by mosquitoes out here, so let's go ahead and show you that underwater. Still see that? Yeah. Underwater, the modes still work just fine. There's the Firefly. Medium. So it's all good. Take it out. Obviously, still works. All the ThruNites I've checked now have been pretty much shock resistant. But what I don't want to do, this is a pretty shiny, pretty light. No sense dropping it on a bunch of concrete and all that. I thought we just, you know, drop it out here. Similar to what you're going to wind up doing. Usually they're drop rated from 3 feet. I'm dropping this from about 6 feet. Now granted, we're dropping it onto pine straw, not onto concrete, but you know, I just don't want to ding it up and scratch it up and tear it up for no reason whatsoever. I can tell you that Andy Tran did a great review of this flashlight on Interbark Outdoors, and he ran over it with a gigantic diesel pickup truck and still worked fine. It had maybe a couple of issues. I think that might have been the battery, but it actually worked. And he dropped it from 6 feet on concrete and everything else. So I'll refer you to that video if you want to see some serious torture tests, because Andy did a really good job on that. So anyway, but you can see it does fine. Okay, back again to the old wood pile. Once again, that's the ThruNite T20T Titanium Flashlight, 255 lumens, using a CR123 battery. Really nice little light. This one retails for about 60 bucks or something like that because it's titanium. The stainless version is around 40 bucks. What I really like about it, one of my favorite features, is the candle. As you saw, it's not a really huge thrower, but it really lights up the world around you. One of the things I think is really cool about it, you can take a little clip, a key ring, or just a little piece of string, tie them on here. You can hang this from, like this, you can hang this from the ceiling, the top of your tent, and make a little tent lantern out of it. And you won't even have to turn it on the brightest one. You put it on the middle one, you'll be fine. Maybe even on the lower one. You can use it for night light if your kids are with you, and it'll go like 100 hours on that. So I mean, it's really, there's a lot of uses for this thing. It's extremely versatile, extremely well made. Everything I've reviewed from ThruNite, it's just really impressed me with the value. It's really well made at a reasonable price. You know, there's a lot of nice flashlights out there. I think ThruNite is one of the top ones, and for the value, I don't know of any that really are as value priced as ThruNite. Now, this is not one of their cheaper models, but it is definitely one of their nicer models. So I hope this has been helpful. If you've been interested in looking at one of these flashlights, I hope this has been a good source of information for you. That's my goal, to help you make decisions when you're buying stuff. That's why I do these reviews. And once again, the ThruNite T20T CR123 flashlight, 255 lumens in this little package. Pretty cool. Oh, and also, I've been having some, I guess, comments from people in other countries. I'm in the U.S. that there's issues with ordering, you know, different products that I talk about here in other countries. So I'm actually, ThruNite was sent me the link to all their products on Amazon in a lot of different countries anyway. Europe, Canada, I'm not sure about, maybe even China. I will put all those links down below. So if you live in somewhere outside the U.S., hopefully one of those links will help you if you're interested in going and finding a ThruNite flashlight. So it was nice of them to do that. Obviously it's nice of them, they want to sell some flashlights, so that's good, you know, but hopefully it'll help you guys that don't live in the U.S. to take advantage of this excellent flashlight from ThruNite. As always, thanks for watching Survival on Purpose. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for clicking that thumbs up down below. Let Google know you like outdoor videos. And I'd really appreciate it if you share this video with your friends. If you think they'll like it, that'd be great. If you'd like to support this channel, I'd encourage you to check out the Amazon link below. Check out my Amazon store if you want to. I'd really appreciate it. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. See you next time.